So the Grounded developer live stream just ended, and we were showed what's going to be coming in the 1.1 update, which they're calling a holiday treat. The public test server for it will be starting on 11/29. That's the current plan right now. Of course, that's subject to change, but basically in about 2 weeks, because they're going to be taking off next week for the Thanksgiving holiday in the United States. They are planning to do a public test server. This is different than the other post 1.0 content. So looks like we're going to be able to test things out, let them know, give them feedback. Typically, the public test servers last between 1 and 2 weeks. So that would mean the full update would be available either probably around the middle of December. So what I want to do is quickly go through and cover the things that they talked about. Now in the background, I'm just going to have random footage playing because, to be honest, I didn't get any footage from the dev live stream because I was watching half of it on my phone. But I just want to quickly mention what they talked about, the important things I thought that they talked about, and let you know what's coming. So there's a lot of quality of life as well as bug fixes coming. So let's go through those first. First up is going to be crafted items stay in the backpack on death, as do the upgrade quartzite shards and the marble shards. So right now, if you die, basically the only thing you keep in your inventory is going to be the armor you have equipped and whatever you're holding in your hand. Going forward, when this update comes out, anything you've crafted will be kept in your backpack. So that means any gear you don't have in your hands, anything in your backpack, torches, food, stuff like that, will stay in your backpack, as will any upgrade rocks you found. So the quartzite and marble shards, they'll stay in there as well. Anything you've collected off the ground, like plant fiber or mushrooms or whatever, any other things you just collect or bug parts, those will be dropped. So you have to go get those from your backpack. That's a definitely good quality of life change. In addition to that, they made some more changes to the colors of the lights. So instead of just being able to change the temperature, they're adding a lot of different colors. So it looked like it was the full rainbow. So you'll be able to change the light color. You'll also be able to copy and paste light settings. So if you have a torch set up, or the sap torch or the sap sconce, whatever it's called, on the wall, and you set it to a certain color setting and a certain temperature and all that kind of stuff, you'll be able to copy that, go over to another one and paste it so you have the exact same colors if you want to do that. They also are going to be adding the ability to name trail markers. So right now, trail markers can only use a symbol. You're going to be able to put names on them just like you can on your storage bins. There's also going to be able to be chat from any screen. So right now you can only, I think, chat from like the main screen. Like if you're in the UI, you'll be able to be in any screen in the game now and be able to chat. So kind of a small quality of life change there, but surely somebody will benefit from that. Next up, they showed the zip lines going up and down. So the zip lines, basically it looks like there's going to be regular zip lines, and you're also going to be able to unlock these zip lines, these advanced zip lines. That's what it sounded like. The advanced zip lines had like a little aphid on a little wheel, basically running like it looked like it was on top of a little hamster wheel, and you would go up and down the zip lines. That's a huge change. Personally, the zip lines for me, I really don't like using them. I know they're convenient, but with this change, I'm definitely going to use them because you're only going to have to build one zip line to and from. Doesn't matter if it's high up. It doesn't matter if it's like steep or if it's completely flat. You'll still be able to get there, and it looks like about a reasonable amount of time. Of course, the steeper it is, the faster you'll go. Big change, quality of life. Sleep to morning is going to be an option now. So right now, if you go to sleep, you just sleep for 8 hours. So that means you can wake up in the middle of the night, in the middle of the day, whatever. Now you're going to be able to sleep and wake up at 6 a.m. if that's what you want to choose. On the screen, they showed it only allowed to wake up at 6 a.m. So I'm not sure if that's going to be an option, but it looks like waking up at 6 a.m. is going to be available in this next public test server. Of course, they've already talked about, or they showed the 10 extra backpack slots and the 3 hot pouches. They showed those off again. We talked about those before, so we're not going to spend too much time on them. The only big thing with that is the 10 extra backpack slots and 3 hot pouches are available from the beginning. You're not going to have to unlock them anyway, so everybody will have access to them in a new save, continued save, anything. Everybody will have that. Next up, they said they're going to be, so one of the big issues I have with the hot deposits, which are great, by the way, hot depositing, is accidentally hot depositing things I don't want to. The way they're handling that, instead of locking things in your inventory, what you're going to be able to do is turn off the ability to hot deposits to certain storage bins. So as an example, let's say you have extra arrows or torches or bandages in a chest. You can simply go into that chest, toggle off the ability to hot deposit. That means when you come into the base, you can dump all your other resources, and those things will not be hot deposited in that chest unless you, of course, have them in other chests. So just make sure anything you don't want to hot deposit, you just put in that one chest and turn off the option. Next off, they showed the build from pallets and storage. So this is going to be a good quality of life feature. So I know I often have times where I have to go fumbling through all my chests to be able to find that one resource I need to build something in my house or a wall or something like that. So that's going to be definitely a good quality of life change. Recycling returns 100% of resources. This is massive because I'm sure you have experienced the same thing where you build something incorrectly and you have to take it down and you end up getting back half the resources. Now you're going to be getting back 100% of the resources. I think they did say if it destroys, I think they said you don't get back everything if it gets destroyed, but don't remember exactly. This is going to be big for like doing mixers and stuff where you put up the walls for the one-time mixers and then you just want to take them down and have all the resources back. So if you use mushrooms, instead of getting back like half of them, you get back all of them. For those of you that play multiplayer, you'll be able to hide nameplates. So this will allow you, if you're doing PvP, I know that's kind of probably a niche thing, but if you want to do PvP or do some kind of like hide and seek game or Hunger Games thing like that, or Hunter, whatever the games are where you find like chase people around, You'll be able to turn nameplates off. Peep shows info from creature cards. So now when you look through the peeper, any creature you looked at, whether you, I guess you have to have peeped them once, probably. Once you peep them, going forward, when you peep them, look through them, the peeper again, you'll see all the information, show all their strengths and weaknesses and weak spots, stuff like that. That's pretty cool in case you forget what something's weak to, because I know I often have to like go back into the creature cards and look and see what things are weak to. You'll be able to block with bows. This is going to be huge for people like me who like to cheese everything in the game. Ha ha ha. Now, instead of having to run away like a coward, I will just be able to perfect block creatures, shoot them with my bow, and run away. New combat sounds are going to be added to, well, combat. The one they showed off was perfect blocking. So perfect blocking has a much louder blocking sound. So not only does it have the little animation, but you also get a sound so you'll know when you perfect block. Big thing for people that are on console, because this was possible on PC if you went into the game files, but it'll be in the menu now. You can adjust the depth of field blur. So basically that's going to be like the fog that's off in the distance, how blurry it gets. Like, well, not the fog, but how blurry, basically how far you can see with the blur. So you'll be able to adjust that from low, medium, and high. This will probably affect performance, so you're going to have to mess with it to see what works best for your setup. They're going to be limiting ant food collecting. So now ants are going to have a limited amount of food they can collect at any given time. That should help with performance issues. They said they fixed bugs stuck in the terrain. So I know I've been experiencing lots of bugs stuck in the terrain, spawning out of the terrain. So hopefully that gets fixed. I know a lot of people have been reporting it. So that'll be definitely nice to see, because it's always interesting to be walking by a rock or something and a bug just flies out and hits you. For anybody that was continuing existing saves going into 1.0 and aren't able to get the 100% completion because of missing files, it looks like they've fixed that. So any missing data files should be in the correct locations when this update comes out. Another one having to do with gear. Broken gear won't fall to the ground. So right now, if you're using a weapon and it breaks, or if you have armor on and it breaks, it will actually just fall to the ground. What's going to happen is it'll fall to the ground if your inventory is full. If your inventory is not full, it'll go into your backpack. What's going to happen now is it's just going to stay on your, like, equipped, but it just won't provide you any defense, or obviously you won't be able to use it as a weapon. And then it'll be easier to find thrown items. So right now when you throw an item, sometimes it's very hard to find out where it is. Now there's going to be an icon that pops up above it, and it'll be very easy to see. Even if you're not facing it, they showed off running away from it, it'll still show up on your screen. So you'll be able to see it from much further away. So if you throw a weapon, especially if it's in a dark area or it just bounces all over the place, it'll be much easier for you to find it. In terms of new building things they showed off, the one that piqued my interest the most was the Pinecone Spike Trap. This might have been what they showed in the trailer that we saw before. Maybe not, but it is definitely a new Spike Trap. What also was interesting was the players in the game were jumping on top of it and not taking damage. So perhaps the traps don't deal damage to the players as well. They didn't talk about that, but that might be a thing. But the Pinecone Spike Traps are at least one new trap. They did say the word traps. I asked several times in the chat if there was going to be more coming. They didn't answer that question. So we'll have to see if more traps are going to be coming in this update or in the future. They also showed off the mushroom stairs, which we saw in the teaser post from yesterday. So there's half mushroom stairs and full mushroom stairs. I don't know what they were made out of. It looked like mushroom walls. Perhaps they're made out of mushroom walls and pine cones, or mushroom walls and some type, maybe like weed stems or something. Not sure. Or maybe even acorns. Then they showed off the grandfather clock, which we saw in the teaser post. Koi scale chair, base, grass side table. So that's a new thing. So the grass side table is like a little end table. It has 2 drawers in it. It also has, I think it was 30 storage slots. So you'll be able to use that as a store, not only be able to have it as decoration, but also be able to double it up and use it for storage. Then they showed off some divider walls. There was one made out of gum, one made out of burr, and I don't know what the other one was made out of. It was made out of something. It had like drawings and stuff on it. Not sure if it was ash or something else. Then they showed off lots and lots of stuffed bugs. It looks like there's going to be stuffed bugs for pretty much everything in the game, including the bosses, as well as wall mounts for all of them. There was a feature they accidentally almost showed for the wall mounts, so I'm not sure if you're going to be able to change the animation on the wall mounts, but they didn't really show it off. There was one other thing that they walked past but didn't show off as well, which it almost looked like it was I don't know if it was like a weapon rack or something like that was sitting behind the stairs. They didn't talk about it. They said don't show it, so they ended up not showing it. So those are all the main things that I took away from the dev live stream. The big one's going to be that there's going to be a public test server in 2 weeks from now. That's what they're shooting for. Of course, that's subject to change, but about 2 weeks from now, you're going to be able to jump in and test out all these updates. Lots of good quality of life stuff. Right now, there's none of this was new content per se. They did say that they're planning on updating the game next year as well, so we'll have to see what they're going to be planning for the future. I'm definitely curious to see if they're going to be adding any actual new content. They did mention a couple of things that I think are worth mentioning as well. In terms of like the scale of how long it takes to do things, they said it took them about a year to build the koi pond area, and it also took them about a year to build the undershed area. So if you're looking for something like a new area, like maybe go inside the shed or go into a new area, maybe like up into the oak tree, or perhaps into another yard, or even like into the house, into like a small room or something, or maybe under the deck of the house, or even on the deck of the house. it just gives you an idea of something at that scale is going to take probably about a year. And if they haven't started working on it yet, that means it would be a long time away. So they did say they're going to keep updating the game. It sounds like they want to update the game as long as they're allowed to. So that's just kind of going to depend on how long Microsoft and Xbox allow them to keep working on it, as well as the Obsidian management. So we'll have to see. But anyway, lots of quality of life stuff. If you're into building, this is going to be huge for you. I'm interested to see if there's any more hidden stuff they didn't show off. They did say they weren't showing everything. So I'm going to be curious to see what they're going to be showing off in a couple weeks, or what we'll be seeing in a couple weeks in this public test server. So anyway, if you found this video helpful, make sure to hit the like button. I'll be streaming in just about an hour after this video goes up. I'm going to be streaming about 7 p.m. Eastern tonight. If you want to stop by my stream on both Twitch and YouTube to discuss this update, let me know what you like, what you don't like, and just chat about the game in general. So anyway, thanks so much for watching. Make sure you hit the like button, and here's another video you might want to watch as well.